Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. Coming up in today's video, we're headed to Eldora. That's right, we're going dirt racing in the trucks. Now Eldora, a fantastic racetrack, a track that I've had tons of fun at in other games. However, not so much fun for me in the NASCAR Heat series. The reason simply being the car, or in this case the truck, almost just feels dead to me. It doesn't react like a dirt car would. It almost feels like more like I'm driving down the interstate than it does that I'm struggling for grip and trying to chase the truck around a dirt track. I mean, these are big, heavy trucks with lots of horsepower, struggling for grip, and yet it just doesn't feel that way in the game. So while we're definitely going to be looking for the best finish, the most money at Eldora, what I really want to make happen is make this track fun. I want to find a setup combination that will make this track fun for me to drive. That is ultimately what this game is all about. Why are we all playing this game? Because we love NASCAR, we love racing, and we want to drive the cars as closely as we can to the NASCAR real world counterparts. So I want to try to do as best I can within the NASCAR Heat framework. So that is going to be a huge goal of mine headed into this race. But before we get there, we obviously know we have to do a little bit of preparation on our truck before we head to the track, but I want to give you guys an idea of where we stand at this point in the season. I've now fast forwarded through several races, and it's time to take a look at where we are. So my standing, you see at the top of the screen, we are in 18th position, and you notice that after 14 races, there are a lot of wins concentrated at the very top of the point standings in just two trucks. So that is a lot of success that those two guys are having. So instead of the big three or the big four, it's the big two right now in the truck series. Also, because we're in 18th position, we're not going to be looking to move up next season into Xfinity. Instead, we're going to be looking forward to season number 2 in the trucks. And while we certainly want to move up to Xfinity as soon as we can, what really gets me excited is that we've come a long way in our first season in the trucks. So that gets me excited about what we can accomplish in season 2 in the trucks. Maybe we can eventually get up there high enough that our performance will allow us to get our fair share of those victories. So as always, I'm going to continue to look for my favorite tracks as well as the most popular tracks in the game for you guys. And those are the ones we're going to concentrate on for right now in the career mode. So with that in mind, let's come back over to the work plan. We've got our 3 chassis, 2 speedway, and 1 short track. Down at the bottom of the screen in the center, you see the department maximums. 90 on engine, 85 now on aero, and then 90 on suspension. So why haven't I upgraded the engine and or the suspension much higher? Why haven't we gotten to 100 yet? And the reason is simple: money. Going from 90 to 95, we need $135,000, and money in the truck series is just not easy to come by, especially when you're finishing where we are right now. So I've been saving up as much money as I could while making a few adjustments to the aero so that we can try to get a little bit more grip in our truck, which should hopefully help us to do even better in the long term. So to get to a 95 engine, $135,000, and then if we want to get to 100, that is a huge increase, all the way up to $405,000. So these are long-term plays that we're looking at, which I really enjoy about the game. I like that it takes a while, that you can't just jump immediately within a few races and have a fully upgraded truck. That's not the way it works in real life, unless you've got tons and tons of money to hook up with an existing race team. So I'm really hoping that in the future that the NASCAR Heat developers can greatly expand the career mode, but this is one of those areas I hope that they don't cave in too much and make this a very quick process, because I really enjoy the fact that you have to work your way through the lineup and earn all of the money that you get and earn all of those upgrades. That is an awesome part of the game, and I really hope that they continue with that. So we're going to go ahead and back out of that because we don't quite have enough money to do that upgrade. The next upgrade I want to do is in fact moving the engine up to a 95 overall, but we're a few $1,000s short of making that happen right now. And what we're really hoping is that we can get the money we need here at Eldora to make that happen. But first, let's go ahead and assign some employees. Let's see what auto assign does. Does it get everybody in the right spot? Looks like the engine, I mean, sometimes it does, sometimes not so much. is what I have found. You notice that now we've got a couple of employees on the aero side, so that looks good. As well as, yes, everything looks good. Thank goodness the auto apply worked as desired. So there, that looks pretty nice. Unfortunately, you notice one thing that they missed, and that is they didn't bother to upgrade the truck we're going to be racing with in today's race. So not sure why they chose not to do that, but we'll take a crack at fixing that right now. Let's go ahead and click here, and we'll start assigning some folks in here. Let's see, let's just go ahead and use her. We'll go to 84 overall and save the other increase over here for our Speedway chassis. And finally, let's get this guy. That gets us to our maximum of 90. He had more than enough talent to get us there. So now this looks a little better. So it put the people in the right slots, just not necessarily on the right chassis. So I think everybody is where they need to be. Let's go ahead and start work. And so now our short track chassis is essentially ready to go at max capacity based on where we are. So with that in mind, I think everything has been done, all the boxes checked. Let's head to the track. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little bit confused right now. As you can see, we're on the pole. 19-19. And we're on the pole by no small amount. That is over a tenth that we're faster than the field, and we already know what type of truck we have, so we're nowhere near full strength on this truck. So I'm a little bit concerned. I actually had to make sure I was on the max difficulty because I thought there's no way this is right. We must have decreased the difficulty or something by mistake. But no, this is max difficulty, so I am a little disappointed right now that the AI are not faster than this. So this changes several things for us, but the one thing it doesn't change is that it's race time right now. All right, folks, as strange as it may be, it's race time at Eldora. Let's start slinging a little bit of dirt here. I'm hoping that the AI surprise me and they're faster in the race than they were both in practice and qualifying. So let's just see what we've got. Once again, those rims are horrid looking. They've really got to get that fixed. That is killing me every time. So here on the front row, our first opportunity to see what life is like, starting in the front of the pack.
You're all clear up top.
So there we go, the infamous pace car sitting right at corner entry at Eldora. Great place to put the car, that is if you don't like the car and you want to get it run over. Now I've made a couple of changes to tighten up the truck a little bit, hopefully taking a little speed out of the truck just in case the AI
all right, you're clear.
Aren't any faster than they were in qualifying and or practice, which it would appear as though they're not. So this changes a lot if this continues as it is right now, because you can look in our rearview mirror and see that these guys are not exactly beating our doors off to get back to us. So nothing real special about the setup. The truck rotates quite nicely. Certainly not perfect, nor would I expect it to be, but I think it gives me something to work with, at least at the beginning, for a setup for this track to release here on the channel. I didn't do one last year for Heat 4, simply because of my issues with the track and the feel of the trucks here. Still not great. I mean, you still have to drive it like you're on asphalt, which is definitely not fun to do at a place like this, but it's what we got. So already you can see we're in traffic.
Careful, still there.
There will be some beating and banging, no doubt. We had a little bit of contact right there, nothing big, but if we get out of here with a smooth driving bonus, it will be nothing short of a miracle. All right, top left-hand corner, you can see 9 laps here in stage 1, and so far we are looking very nice for a stage victory.
You're all clear up top. All right, you're clear.
Trying to give these guys most of the outside near the wall on the straightaway, just to give them plenty of room. You can see those guys sliding around quite a bit.
All right, now.
You really don't need to do that at Eldora in this game. Anyway,
Still there. All
it's
right,
not really
you're
the
clear.
fastest way. So there you can see, back end turns quite nicely.
White flag, bring it home.
All right, white flag. Just trying to play it real safe here. These trucks, I don't know exactly. I mean, you can see Greenfield. He was struggling with that thing all the way out onto the
All right, you're
straightaway.
clear there.
The last thing I want to do is get caught up in their mess. So there you have it. Stage
back
one
stage.
is
Way
in
to
the
go,
books.
driver.
Wow. This is just mind-blowing to me right now. So we'll pick up our 10 points, which is huge for us in the regular season. But also, we get one playoff point just in case things work out really well in today's race for us. All right, so laps remaining, 29 laps. Of course, there is no fuel or tire wear to worry about at this track, since you can't really make green flag pit stops here. So we're definitely not going to pit. And instead, we're going to advance. You saw a little bit of tire wear there on the truck, but again, not really
We're going green.
a lot to worry about, particularly in the
Ready.
format we're using here in the career mode.
10 to go. Stay low. All right, clear outside.
All right, so 10 laps here in stage number 2. The good thing about the truck here is the setup is allowing me to put it pretty much wherever I want. Right now there's nobody around us, so I can use up as much of the track as I want to and just sort of let it flow through the corners a little bit more instead of having to worry about being really tight to the bottom. Definitely not as fast as we were in qualifying. So the setup adjustments I made to tighten it up have indeed taken a little bit of speed out of it, at least on an average lap basis.
Wow, that's fast. All right, you're clear there.
All right, not bad at all. I have to admit, it is kind of fun to watch the AI, particularly when they're 2 and 3 wide, the way they slide around and beat and bang on each other. That can be fun, at least until you're in the middle of that and they're beating and banging on you. Then maybe not so much. I mean, this track is just begging for some beating and banging,
Stay low, stay low.
but not necessarily the
Time to
way
go,
the
driver.
AI do it in
Got
this
one
game.
outside
That
now.
is
Top
not
three,
so
use
much
it if you
fun.
need it. Clear low there. Hold your line, got one outside.
All right, so again, just trying to stick to the bottom down here for the most part. Give these
You got
guys
room, you're
plenty
clear
of
there.
room.
Got one outside now.
All right, so we're 3 wide here. All right, got by those guys. I'm a little tempted to pull up the standings and just see sort of how things are going. How many trucks have we lapped just in these very short stages? Because it seems like a lot. I mean, we're only running 9 or 10 laps. Now there is an option which I have
Careful,
turned
still
off
there.
that would have
All clear.
the information above each of the trucks on the track, so you could see a little bit more information about the running order and that kind of
Two
thing,
left
but I've
wide.
turned that off. So all we're getting is the standings
outside.
window,
You got room,
and
you're
just in
clear
case I decide to pull that up, which I may very well do in the
Got one
final
up top.
stage.
You got room, you're clear.
Wow, you can see these guys are running much higher on the track than I would have
Outside.
expected.
Last lap, hit your mark.
All right, you heard the man. Last
You
lap.
got room,
Let's
you're
try to
clear
get
there. All right, you're clear.
through this without incident.
Careful, still there. You got room, you're clear there.
Oh, look out. 74 looks like he's having some issues there. All right, so no big deal.
On that stage, way to go.
And once
driver.
again, another stage win. Who would have ever thought our first 2 stage wins would come at Eldora, of all places? So 10 more points there, plus the playoff point, just in case we need that for later on. All right, so now we've seen that. 16 laps remaining. Boy, this is where I wish we had a lot more laps remaining. This can be a really fun track, particularly if you get the setup driving the way you like it, and it gives you a little bit of feedback. All right, so of course we're not going to pit. Advance, absolutely. All right, let's get this thing going. So not quite double the length of
right,
the
man.
third and
You're
final
coming to the green.
stint.
Almost ready. Clear high, bud.
All right, so I'm going to leave the leaderboard up there so we can see these standings and see where these guys are, how much faster or slower they are than us at different points during the run, particularly when we get into traffic. We'll see if they start to catch us any.
All right, you're clear there.
All right, so we've already got about a second on second place, and then very quickly it escalates from there.
That was a better lap.
You can hear me working that throttle. Really no reason that you have to lift at this track, but again, the way I've set up the truck and the fact that we are lacking some grip overall in our upgrades, it's just a little bit more fun for me to lift. There's just something about the way they drive this place in real life versus driving it wide open that just makes me sad that we're driving it wide open this easy.
Keep hitting your marks. You'll keep getting better.
All right, you can see we're closing in on
High,
3-second lead
all clear.
over second place, and something tells me once they get into traffic that that's probably going to balloon. Also keep an eye out on the lap times. You know, we're just call it 20 seconds. So anybody, as they get closer to 20 seconds, it's getting closer and closer to being lapped.
Stay low, stay low. All clear.
All right, there you go. There's some good battles right in front of us. Let the AI duke it out amongst themselves. I want to try to stay out of it. Hey, I want that smooth driving bonus.
Clear high, clear high.
That's going to give us
Careful.
better performance moving forward.
You got room. You're clear. You're all clear up top there. You got room. You're clear there.
All right, again, you guys just stay up there.
Outside.
I'm going to give you most of the track. I'm just going to try to hang out down here around the bottom. For those of you who love to watch, as I do, the Eldora race when the trucks go every year on TV,
Got one peeking outside.
part of me wants to look for Kenny Wallace down around the inside wall with his hand stuck out, explaining to everybody at home about how to find the moisture in the dirt and all that sort of stuff. All right, where are we now? About 4.5 seconds over second place. And I have no idea how many laps are remaining, because unfortunately you can't get all that information at the same time.
Got one peeking outside.
Even though I really have
Clear
no
high, bud.
reason that I can think of why you shouldn't be able to get both your position as well as the laps in the top right hand corner.
Two laps to go.
2 laps to go. Is that what he said? Oh, he did. These laps are going by too fast. Way too fast. I'm kind of enjoying myself here. Still don't have the truck handling the way I want to as far as the fun factor, but still, I mean, it's Eldora.
All right, let's go. White flag.
All right, white flag, and they are nowhere near us. There's the 18 truck. You would certainly expect him
Stay low, stay low.
to be fast.
All right, you're clear. Outside, outside. You're
There's
all
the
clear
4,
up
same thing.
top. Sweet.
All right.
What a win.
I still cannot believe this just happened. So we're going to come home, and we got a 105 speed rating. My mind is blown right now. For me, the developers have to do better than this. I mean, we should not have been anywhere near the front, which has been the case at most of the tracks so far. Atlanta, still very weak on the AI side of things, but even there, we weren't in the lead running away with it like we were here. But still, we got our very first career victory again. Did not think it was going to come at Eldora, so that is definitely a shock. So let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see what kind of money we get. This changes everything with regards to the playoffs and our plans for next year. Oh, we have so many decisions to make now. But for right now, we're going to enjoy this victory. So we're going to, let's see, they had, about 6 seconds was our win over Zane Smith. Love Zane Smith. Love the way he drives. All right, what do we get? 32,800. Now, one thing you're going to notice here, beyond the 28,000 that we got for winning the race, beyond our $4,800 for sponsor payout, our merch payout is now $47. So a huge thank you to those of you who have decided to buy a shirt. A few more of you decided to buy a shirt, so we're in business. I don't care if you buy shirts or pins or hats, whatever it is, we need to get that merch payout up. We need the money so we can improve our truck. So you guys get busy, run by the merch tent, and make your purchases. All right, so with that in mind, let's move on. And now suddenly, look at there. Magically in the point standings, not the playoff standings, but the point standings, we now have a win and 7 playoff points. But look, just 2 spots in front of us. Fogelman has 2 victories. Where in the world did that come from? But I like it. I like that there's a little bit of chaos theory in this. Look at Mark Harmon. He has a playoff point. Where on earth did that come from? But again, I love that everything is not totally predictable. So anytime you can add just a little bit of drama, a little bit of chaos to it, I'm in favor of it. So there's our dirty truck in victory lane. Again, this is too much. It's too much. We can't be in victory lane, yet here we are. So thankfully they changed the NASCAR Heat 4 trophy to NASCAR Heat 5, so we got that taken care of. I know that was a big issue for a lot of folks. But look at there. How could you ever get tired of seeing this scene? This is awesome. This is what we're here for. Ultimately, the way to have the most fun is to win the races. So objective number 1 is complete. We got our first victory. Now it's time to use that money to upgrade our truck so we can search out even more victories. Fastest lap, unfortunately, was very easily us with something like a 19.6. We'll see what it is when it gets back around to it. If it stays up long enough to get back around to it. Ooh, Ross Chastain did not have a good day. Not fun for Ross on the dirt. Yeah, 19.16 was the best lap, which was not too far off of where we qualified, actually. Somewhere very close to that. So tightening up the setup didn't take a whole lot of speed out of it. Changed the handling a little bit, but it seems like that's about it. Overall, amazing race. Can't believe we got that victory. Let's go ahead and continue on. Do we want to finish the event? Well, not really, because I was having a lot of fun, but unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. So our first victory comes at the most unlikely of places, at even the most unlikely of times. Thank you so much for joining me, and stay tuned as we will continue our journey through the career mode in NASCAR Heat 5.